Alright, here we're going to take a look at Clayton's January 8th, 2015 evaluation. We're going to see Clayton here running full speed, followed by half speed or 50% speed. And then ultimately, the third frame we're going to see here is him running at 10% speed, so we can basically do a frame-by-frame breakdown. We're going to take a look at he takes off here, and we're going to start at the top of the body and kind of work our way down. And stop it here. You'll notice here how his arm is getting tucked in front of his body with his right arm, and his left arm is getting a lot of disconnection from the body. So we need to keep that arm way more connected to the body. Keep that elbow driving straight back and driving straight forward, and setting over instead of over and across the chest. Also, you'll see here he's leaning way too much. There's a certain way to lean, and we need to kind of work with him on that. He's got more of a hunch than he does a lean. And he kind of keeps that posture throughout his run, so we need to work on him and kind of teach him when to rise up and when not to. Going to push him forward a little bit more, probably stop him right about 5 or 6 yards or so. And you'll see here, another problem that he has is he has a lot of tension in his upper body. We got to get him to be really loose with the upper body. Everything should be nice and smooth. There's something we say here, smooth is fast. And if you're tense, you're not fast. So you see how his wrist is cocking back. We got to get all that stuff just to be relaxed and loose. And another thing, if you see the blue line dissecting his body, that should hit him basically between the two eyes, and he's just a little bit out of alignment, so he's kind of shifting side to side. Gonna take him forward a little bit more, stop him about 10 yards, and you will see here he's got a short back kick, so on his kick should extend way far out from the body and then come up towards the butt and then drive the knee back up, and he's kind of flips it out, lets it flail, and then brings it back up. So he's not getting much extension on his kick. He's also, again, you can see how he's opening his chest up, and you can see by the north the way it's kind of pointed out towards the other side. It should be pointing directly at the camera. So that's a small tweak we want to make there to help him out. And the last thing we want to point out is just where his foot strikes the ground. He actually has a good contact point on his foot. However, you'll notice here the line from his kneecap through his head, so he's shifting his weight again just side to side, so a lot of side to side motion, and I think that's caused a lot by his arms and his arm movement. When those arms come across that body, it kind of has no choice but to make the chest and the shoulders kind of sway with it. So those are the things that we want to definitely work with him on, and then over the next 6 months while he's here, we want to continue to chip away at that and make some progress. You'll see here I've actually included some video of an Olympic athlete, and now although this guy is taking off in the blocks and Clayton is not, you'll still notice the way the knee drives up, the way the foot drives up, and everything is in a straight perfect line. You'll notice here how the knee is going up almost all the way to the waist. The elbows and everything is relaxed. It's in an L shape, and it's driving right up from hip to pocket up to the eye. So those is kind of the things that he needs to mimic. You'll see here how his body, again, everything's in place, straight line through his chest and center. So that's what Clayton needs to look at and try to mimic. Vertical leap. We got to teach him how to use his body just a little bit better, and I think he can do a whole lot better with these drills, and then even playing football, using his momentum and his power together to kind of be explosive. Clayton jumped to 14 here, and the reason we put a lot of emphasis on the vertical and the standing broad jump is because that correlates directly to the 10 and 20 yard speed times. So if we can get him to be more explosive with his vertical and his standing broad jump, we're going to be able to get him to be more explosive on his running as well. Does a little bit better job using his body here. He jumped a 5'2" standing broad jump. We want to get that up into the 6s would be great. Last thing we're looking at here is his lateral movement. He actually scored 17 reps on his lateral movement. He's opening his hips up too much for this particular drill. A couple of these reps didn't really count. You'll see here again how he's opening his hips up. But he's actually got some good speed side to side, so we want to keep encouraging that and working on that speed as well. Looking at his baseline scores, I went over most of this with you. Strength is pretty good. We got to work on his core. His balance is off. We got to work on that, and his leg strength. Again, want that vertical and that standing broad jump to be as high as it can be. 10-yard time and 20-yard time, a good goal would be in the 1.7s for the 10-yard, and then maybe in the 3.10 range for the 20. And we got to work on his flexibility. He's nowhere near as flexible as he should be. That'll help his strength, his speed, and also keep him from getting injuries.